Hi, and welcome to another episode of Success Solutions Web TV. This is episode 11, which covers chapter 10 of the book, The Science of Getting Rich. Well, I've just come back from a hospital holiday and I've had a total hip replacement. It is wonderful. It is absolutely amazing to be pain-free. It was just magic. Normally when I'm doing these videos, I need to get up and down a little bit, and I was in so much pain. The nurses at the hospital, the physiotherapist, the doctor, really amazed at how quickly I recovered. Now, I really do owe that to very good care, but I also owe it to using success strategies. I used some success strategies that I developed myself, and I also used some of the principles in this book. When we get to the end of this episode, we'll actually be looking at what we've learnt so far. And I did utilise the opportunity, before I had the hip replacement, of tying the principles for getting rich into the principles of having a hip operation and getting through a very, very quick recovery. In other words, success achieving financial riches is basically the same as success in achieving other things that you might want to achieve in your life. So if you'd like to know how I got through a hip replacement so quickly, let me know. Okay, now let's look at chapter 10 from the book. Now, we've all heard about positive thinking, and we all know that's a good thing. But positive thinking is not the be-all, end-all. It will not get you what you want. Just imagining like, oh, yes, positive thinking, I think I'm going to be rich. That's ridiculous, and obviously it's not going to happen. However, if you don't believe that you'll achieve what you've decided you want to achieve, well, that's ridiculous too. Of course, you have no hope. So positive thinking is very valuable in the sense that it is essential to moving forward with any decision you've made and achieving the results that you want. On the other side, remember that what you believe you will achieve. That's an old saying, but it's a very true one. So keep in mind that this book is talking very seriously about having total belief that not only you will get rich, but you are rich now. It is there. It is there for you. On the other side of the coin, if you really try hard to believe in what you're wanting to achieve, and you just can't do it. You just know that you have lingering doubts, and those doubts are there, and you just can't get rid of them. I'm afraid the only answer is to change your goal. Look at something that's maybe a little bit more simple, or even look at something that is bigger, because if it's bigger, it might give you the passion to believe and to move forward with that particular goal. So don't give up. That's the main thing. People who give up never achieve. So you will achieve if you just keep moving forward, and moving forward into a goal that you can believe in, that you have absolute belief in. You can change beliefs, but believe me, that's ridiculous. You can change beliefs, but it's very hard. It is hard. I have a process for changing beliefs, and I can sort of change my own beliefs when I want to, but it's not easy, and it's not something we're going into here. So just change what you want. Put it in a different way. Put it in a way. Keep working on it until you know you've got something that you absolutely believe you can achieve. Now, the next point is, how absolutely sure are you that if you follow what's in this book, you will be financially rich? If you have any lingering doubt, that's going to hold you back. If you have a lingering doubt, remembering this book has been, popular since 1910, so obviously it works. It would not have stayed in front of so many people since 1910. So if you're having problems really believing that this book is going to help you get rich, you really have to look at yourself. Is there something that is holding you back? Is there something in your childhood that made you believe that it doesn't matter what you want, you can never be rich? You may remember something that I talked about earlier in an earlier episode about when I was a child. There was a kidnapping and a little boy was murdered, and it was all over money. And for many years I could make loads and loads of money. I could be as rich can be, but I always found a way to give it away. And that wasn't a good idea. Believe me, it was not a good idea. Now, I didn't understand why until I realised when I was at, I was actually at a seminar run by a gentleman called Paul Blackburn, and all of a sudden, something that Paul said, something he was talking about, bang, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh, that's what it is. Now, is there anything in your life that something happened to you when you were a child? Is there something your parents used to say? Like I think all our parents said, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, it doesn't, but obviously that is something you learn as a child which gives you a little bit of a negative connotation towards money. So have a look and make sure that there's nothing there. Now, if there is something there and you discover it, the beauty of it is once you know it's there and once you say, well, that's obviously ridiculous and not true, you'll find it will dissolve, because we don't keep in our mind something we know is ridiculous. We only keep in our mind those things that we think are a good idea. So it's really wonderful when you find something and whoosh, then it goes. It's gone. Now, we need to look at what our money goals are. The book talks quite a lot about this, and we need to have money goals that not only do we believe they're going to happen, but also we're really happy in the process of working towards them. It's something that at the end of the work that we're going to do to get this money, we're going to be so happy. We're going to really celebrate. It could be that the end result of your goal is a wonderful family holiday. It could be it's something as simple as having no credit card debt. It could be something as simple as having an amazing business. You can see that the goal doesn't have to be about money per se. It can be about something you want to achieve, something you want. But if you haven't got the money, you can't do it. Now, also it's important to have a time on your goal. Don't just have a goal, oh, yes, I'm going to have a family holiday. You know, say in December next year, we're going to go to Tahiti. And visualise it, see it in your mind. Then you come back and you look at all the things you need to do to be able to get to Tahiti next December. Now, it can be that the goal is in fact where the money is coming from. For example, you might have a goal, and actually a wonderful goal, a really, really good goal, is that you're going to start a business that is going to bring you in X amount of dollars income per annum or per month, if that is more realistic to you. Starting a business in your spare time is a great idea, and if you can afford it to start a business not in your spare time but full time is even better. I can highly recommend it. You have so many opportunities now, including businesses online, which of course I do, as well as my foreign currency trading and a little bit of my property development too. Now, it is important, a lot of you already know this about me, I don't believe in goals, I'm not happy with goals, sounds ridiculous after everything I've just said. But what I do, when I have a goal, I have the goal first, but then I turn it into a decision. So it is something that I have then decided to do, decided to achieve, decided to do. Once I make that decision, I really find that when I make a decision to do something, I go ahead with it. If I have a goal, it's a little bit nebulous. It's a goal. It's sort of out there in the ether. And, I'm a very practical person and I just don't like that sort of thing. So I like to make a decision. I am going with my family to Tahiti next December, and in order to get there, the decision that I've made is to do this and this and this and this. So that I find really means that, I get things done and I get what I want. Now, the book also tells us we have to think rich. We have to not think about poverty. We went through this on the last episode, but this chapter is reminding us of those things that we need to do. So we must think rich. Don't think, 3 years ago I was so poor. Don't think about that. Put it aside. Put it away. It's irrelevant. What is important is the way you're thinking now and what you're going to do for your future. That is what's important. So you have to be thinking, I am rich, I'm a very rich person, I love my life, and I'm so looking forward to even more riches in my life. And I'm going to work very hard, so I'm going to enjoy making it happen, and I'm going to enjoy every bit of extra richness that I achieve in life. Wallace Wattles says this in the book, and a lot of people might disagree with this, but I believe it's true. I've been very rich and I've been very poor, and I know this is true. When you're rich, you have more freedom. When you're rich, it's easier to have better health. Now, certainly, something goes wrong, even when you're rich. But I am saying that you have a better opportunity of good health. Now, you also have a better opportunity of good relationships, because we do hear that there are more breakups of marriage over money than there is over almost anything else. So when you have richness in your life, money and everything else, it is much easier to have a better relationship. And everything sort of can fall into place. Now, of course, if you are not mentally capable of handling money, of handling riches, which is something that happened to me many years ago, because when I first became a multimillionaire, I didn't know, I wasn't capable of handling it, and I didn't use it to the best advantage. So you've got to tie in having richness with having the right mindset. The two go together, and when they come in and join together, life is just amazing. Now, at the end of this chapter, Wallace Wattles gives us a précis of what we have learnt so far. And I have adapted these, and I'd like to go through them now. Sorry, but we're running a bit late, but we'll go through them now. Annie, what are you doing? Sorry, Annie just ran past. She's an American bobcat cat, and she's very fast on her feet, so she gave me quite a surprise. Okay, so we'll go through now the last section of this chapter of the book, where Wallace Wattles goes through the principles we've learnt so far. Firstly, there is an overall wisdom in all things, and that overall wisdom permeates the universe. For those of you who are religious, I think you will agree with that, maybe using slightly different words. But whether you're religious or not, be aware of that wisdom that is making everything work. The second principle, a thought produced in this wisdom is always imaged by that thought. So when we have a thought, a process takes place, and that thought is produced into an image of that thought. So when we have a thought that takes place, there is a process to turn that thought into reality. So we now take that one step further in the third principle. You can create a thought for something you want, impress it upon this overall wisdom, and your thought or objective will be created. Now be aware this can happen whether the thought is positive or negative. So be very careful what you think, because if you think negative thoughts, such as thinking negative thoughts about poverty in your life, it also occurs, it also happens. Now, the fourth item that we'll now cover is that we must not put ourselves in a competitive environment. We must keep ourselves in a creative environment. Now, how we put what we want into a creative environment, if you don't mind, I'd like to read what Wallace Wattle says, because I don't want to get it wrong. So, if you don't mind, I'll just very quickly read these 4 items. Firstly, form a clear mental picture of what you want. Secondly, hold the picture with the fixed purpose to get what you want. Thirdly, have unwavering faith that you will get what you want. And lastly, close your mind against anything that may shake your purpose. So, that's it for this week. Sorry we went a little bit longer, but the chapters are actually getting a lot deeper and a lot more important to follow. They're also now, we've done all the background stuff, and so now we're looking, with every new chapter, we're looking at more and more important information to get this getting rich to happen. On Sunday, I'll be recording episode 12, because I'm going to record episode 12 at the Polo. So next week, you'll be seeing episode 12, and you'll be seeing horses everywhere. In the meantime, I have some great books up on Amazon, starting at 99 cents. So you just go to Amazon and look up my name, Sharyn Aiken, in the search box up the top, and you can have a choice of books. And as I say, the cheapest one's 99 cents, and I think the dearest one's only $3.99. So get there before because when they get really popular, I put the price up. So in the meantime, I'd also be very grateful if you like the book, if you'll give me a review on Amazon, because that's what gets my books higher on the list, and therefore be able to be purchased by more people. So I'd really be grateful for that. Don't forget, come to the website anytime, selfmadesuccess101.com. Bye now, and I'll see you next week.